What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Swish Life Garage yet again with another video. I got a video for you guys that have been waiting on the Del Sol. Now I really haven't touched it, to be quite honest, from the last video. So if you guys are following right along, you know, I really don't like to do any work on any of the cars without recording it, because I know someone out there is looking for the information. Now, part of these clips you're going to see when I had the Del Sol in the front of the house, it's a little bit older clips, and then when I move it to the backyard, that's very recent, just a few hours ago, to be quite honest. Now on this episode, I'm going to go ahead and try to fit the JDM front end on the Del Sol to see how everything is fitting, assess the damage a little bit further. And I do have one thing to say. On the JDM front end, I set it aside for the parts to just kind of sit for a little bit, but I did not think about the dog, and I didn't even think she would even come close to the parts. But basically she used it as her fort so she could see higher and, you know, bark closer to the squirrels. But so I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty pissed when she damaged the parts. So there's some scratches, a few more new dents and what have you, but it's not anything that cannot be fixed, so I'm very thankful for that. So I took the bumper off of the Del Sol, taking a look at how much damage there may be on the radiator support, and it looks like the previous person, whoever owned the car, they just replaced the top section, which is kind of weird, but they just screwed it together. Looks like they stretched it right there to make it fit, and as well the brackets, or the support brackets for the bumper, are bent. There's some it looks like this bar has been hit as well. I don't know if the bracket may be bent here, but that may be part of the fitment issues I'm having. Also, the auxiliary light bracket is pretty bent up, but luckily I have that with the JDM front end cut. They did include it, but definitely change out this bracket for the auxiliary light, change out this other light, and we'll get this JDM bumper on, because I prefer that one because it doesn't include the little side markers on there. Looks a lot cleaner on the front end.
This is a Chucky Beat production.
Cool thing about the JDM front support is that they just use these little brackets. They don't have the actual crash bar like we have in the US. So I'm gonna put these brackets on instead of having the crash bar, and go ahead and just save some weight right there. Okay, so it started raining a bit, so I kind of had to stop recording, but I took off the front bash bar, and in exchange I'm going to be putting on the JDM ones. They didn't even have a bash bar, they just used these little brackets to hold up the bumper. And as well, these are from the JDM front end, just OEM Stanley auxiliary. So that's what I'm gonna be installing, and this is what I took off the Del Sol. It's the bash bar. It looks pretty wrecked, and as well the brackets look a little bent out shape. These little filler panels as well, you can tell they took a hit. This auxiliary light bracket is bent out of shape. I do believe the passenger side is okay though, and it's still original Stanley. And here we have the JDM bumper. Looks in pretty good shape, just a few scuffs. A little hit right there. Nothing to trip about, and nice shape. Now the damage that I noticed on the front end, on the radiator support, is right here, and which would affect the headlight fitting just a bit, but at the same time the headlight kind of looks pretty good, so it may just be the fact of the top end of the radiator core support. As well, you could tell took a hit right here. It's a little beat, and so which would make the bash bar fit a little off, which we saw tucking real close to the headlight. But as well, I've seen them where they tuck really close, so it wasn't too bad. But these are aftermarket headlights. I would have to put the OEM ones to really see the how bad it is. So right now I'm just going to throw this stuff on and see how the bumper fits. So it's been some time, and I got the Del Sols moved to the backyard now so I can start working on them. But here's how the bumper's fitting. It's still fitting the same as the other bumper. You can see it has a bigger gap from the hood. This one seems pretty spot on, but the little auxiliary light seems to be off as well. So the front end definitely is tweaked a bit, but it's way better than the Del Sol over here, if you guys saw the other video. Now I have the JDM hood here. I just washed it up real quick, and a lot of times I have parts sitting out here, and it's not the safest, to be honest, because we do have pets, and I don't know if you guys could see, they jumped on it, they scratched it up, and they really scratched up one of the fenders, which I'm pretty mad about. I really don't want to show you guys right now. So I'm going to swap out the hood for the JDM hood. There's no difference in it. It's just that I want to just have the JDM one on, and I got another place to store it so it doesn't get scratched this time around. But gonna go ahead and take this off. Alright, so here it is with the hood. I figured out why the hood can't close is because the cable for the latch is broken, so I do have to switch out the cable as well to make it close. But I mean, there's still the gap in between the fender here. See, it looks fine for the most part except for right there. The hood still lines up the same on the bumper. Get a larger separation right there, not too bad. And the gap right here is a bit too big, so it probably needs to be just moved a slight bit. But for the most part, I just want to get the parts on it here. Got the Samba hood right there. I'm going to go ahead and switch out the fenders as well, just because, like I said, the parts are just sitting here for the most part. You can see all the scratches in there, but the parts are just sitting, and I don't want them to get damaged any further. Now the fenders did get damaged, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to show you guys that. But I'm gonna take off these Samba green fenders. So right now I got pretty much the whole front end off, and I took out the air box that sits right here, since obviously it's not using that any longer, and it's basically an air restrictor anyways. But taking that off, I'm as well going to take off these headlights. I'm not going to put the JDM headlights on just yet. I'm going to just put the USDM headlights on, and I don't know, I'd rather see it in that way with the OEM stuff on it. But going to take off the headlights, then gonna try to clean everything up before placing the JDM fenders over there. But alright, let's get back to it. So I cleaned everything up on this passenger side for the most part. You know, all the dirt is cleaned up. I got the fender here, JDM fender. See some more scratches on here from the dog. Quite a bit, to be honest. Especially right there. This is who caused it. That's who caused it. But I as well took off the brace for the fender, just try to get everything off as much as I could. And now we have this open space because the airbox is out the way, and I just get rid of that. But I'm gonna throw the fender back on as well. I cleaned up the side skirt right here, cleaned up real nice. Try to clean everything up as much as I can for now. I mean, I know it's just gonna sit, but it's a whole lot better than it was before. Forgot to show you guys, but I got a closer look at the frame. You can see it's pretty crumpled right there. Not too bad though, that's fixable. You can see it's definitely hit right here, all right there, smashed. Here's the driver's side. It's hit as well, as you could tell right there, but not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. I already cleaned up the side skirt and the fender. Let me show you the fender. Alright, so here's the fender that's pretty messed up. See all these scratches on it. I already had this if you saw my previous video, which can be fixed. You can see she stepped on it pretty good. And it's bent right there, which it can be fixed, but it's just, I don't know, it was just aggravating, and I was just pretty pissed about it, to be honest. But yeah, that's the fender how it is as of now. And as you saw, the passenger fender had a lot of scratches as well, but this one is very scratched up, more than the other one, and it has to be pulled. Just needs some body work, but it'll be fine. So it's the next weekend and I'm back at it. So got this fender on here. I cleaned everything up, and of course there is some dirt on it now, just because we had some real nasty dirty rain come through. But just to go over it, just so I don't miss anything and you guys didn't miss anything here, put on the fender, put on the bracket for the fender. I already discussed about the front end being a little bashed up here. Not looking too bad, but it is fixable, at least in my perspective. Took out the air box here. Now there's 3 bolts for the air box. I did have a little bit trouble taking it out because I didn't remember, but one of the bolts would be like right here. So if the air box is in here, of course you're gonna have to come over and see it. Most likely it'll help out if you take or loosen up the bottom portion of the fender liner, and as well the bottom liner, the splash shield underneath. I'm trying to think. There's another bolt right here, and there's another one. You have to get it from the bottom, but like around this area right here. There's not a need for it, and plus it's a restrictor, so it's always a little nice savings to take it off from there. The gap does seem a little bit big here at the door, but of course everything has to be adjusted. Just trying to get the front end on. It's not going to be perfect as for now, which is alright. Here I have the side skirt here with all the clips all cleaned up. The clips inside ready to go. Just snap it back in and put in these little screw type clips in, and then pretty much be finished with that. And then I could put on the headlights and finish the front bumper. Let's get right back to it and finish off. This one is pretty messed up. It just doesn't point in the right direction. The other bolt doesn't line up here. The bracket, you can see, is bent. I don't want to bend anything since all the parts I have are straight, and just want to wait to get the front end completely fixed. Now I did change out the light bulbs just because they had some overspray on them. These aren't the best headlights and corner light. If you see, this tab is broken. It's just kind of just sitting there right now. On the other Del Sol, I used a zip tie to keep the corner light on. On this other one on this side, this one fits pretty good. So the corner light is all bolted in or screwed in, and with the new bulb, or the one without overspray, you can see this one doesn't line up here. If it'll focus, it doesn't line up right there, and for the most part it's pretty good. All the bolts fit how they should, except for that one right there. So now I just got to put the bumper on. I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quickly. I did wash the front end just so you guys could get a better view of it, since it was real nasty. But here we go. JDM fender, USDM headlights for now, JDM front bumper. The hood is same as the USDM. Some people might wonder, why did I switch for this hood, you know, when there's dents and what have you. I don't know if you guys saw, but when it had the green hood, like right around here, the middle section, it kind of looked like it was bent. So I kind of think that it may have hit something real lightly in the front and kind of bent the hood, because the hoods are meant to bend in case of an accident, you know, so the hood doesn't just fly straight back. But there we have it right there. You can see the fitment of the headlights. This one is, it looks like it's pointing high just because so much of a gap right here. And the hood, you can see it's not completely on there, but it does go on there as farther we go down. This other headlight and the auxiliary light, you can see the fitment on that is not right, and this one is just tucked underneath the hood, and then it's pointing up high. See the gap under there. There we have it. And the messed up fender by the dog. It's actually not that bad than I thought it was, to be quite honest, but I do see there's like a dent right here that needs to be pulled out, and then I think everything was straightened out. But a lot of scratches, which isn't really a problem because it needed to be painted anyways, and it has that big dent on there. But there you guys have it. Alright guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know I've been slacking on the videos, to be quite honest, and I've been slacking on the work on these cars. We have plenty of cars and a lot of things need to get done, but slowly but surely, you know, things are going to progress further, and I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. And you know, just get some knowledge in your memory bank. Maybe you're not doing the work yourself, but at least you have the knowledge of what should be going on. And you know, you're able to see things in a different perspective. Now, to be quite honest, I think the JDM front end looks very good on the Del Sol, even though it has the scratches and what have you. That can always be fixed, but at least I have the front end on the Del Sol. No longer use that as a trampoline or a fort for your dog. But you know, of course I want to get the front end fixed and corrected the way it should, everything should be fitting. In order to take it to a body shop, I need a running car, I need, you know, I just need to have things legal for the road and to take it and drive it from point A to point B and not have any issues. So that's where we're gonna take it further. You know, I got to make sure it's drivable. You know, I still got to get the seats inside of it. I got to get the engine running. When I moved it from the front yard to the backyard, to be quite honest, the fuel pump, I did not hear it come on. I don't know if it may be the ECU possibly. I checked the main fuse, the main relay. I switched it out with a good one and it still wasn't working. I didn't really want to put much time into it because of course I want to record it for you guys because you might run into this issue as well. But at least you guys know where the Samba Green Del Sol currently sit. But alright guys, I want to keep this ball rolling and I want to see the support from you guys, and as well new subscribers. I welcome you guys. We're almost on our way to 4,000. Next up would be 5,000. 5,000 is really my goal as of right now. You know, the next goal, the next step after that would be 10,000 and move on forward. I know I'm going to make it, and with the help of you guys. So I thank you guys a lot for it. But alright guys, I'm going to have to end the video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Alright.